What's up, party people? How we doing? Oh, got a new light to play with. Not sure what to do with it yet. All right. Oh, come on, computer, do the thing. There we go. What does this button do? Oh, that's not what I want. All right. If you're just joining us, we're working on this bottle right here. Lovely. Okay, we've got some brass and bronze Celtic Vision going on here with a bottom that we got to fix. And that's what we're going to work on tonight. So, how is everybody doing? I don't know about this new light. Don't know. It's cool. Like, it's fun. It's a fun toy. But, like, if I left it like that, my eye right here would be burned out by that light very quickly. I don't know. All right. So, last weekend, this is where we ended up, right? I think we can just do this. All right. You got way too much light on that. That's okay. All right, so you got like a single Byzantine strand across the bottom. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not quite as big a fan as I'd like to be. It's okay. One thing I wanted to make sure of. All the rest of the bottle wraps that I've done have kind of not a spiderweb appearance, but they're all a bunch of chains coming into the bottom to a center ring, right? And I got to thinking, like, why am I not doing that with this piece? It makes the most sense as far as doing the bottom of a bottle, and it's worked every time up to this point. Where are the rings for this project? Oh. So, I'm going to take this piece apart. And then we're going to add a bunch of rows to it to make it an entire bottom instead of as wonky as I was thinking it was going to come out to be. So, let's get started. For those of you who don't know, my name is Sean. I run MailleWerX.com, where I design chainmail themed accessories and apparel. And I make chainmail. And I do this because I'm going to take this video and I'm going to upload it to YouTube and I'm going to make it part of my blog as a way to show that I am providing positive internet influence so that the search engines like me better, and also to show people that chainmail is not nearly as difficult as they may think. Because once upon a time, I was a young, influential man of 14, and I got to see someone else make chainmail. And I was like, whoa, holy cow, you can make chainmail and like that? That's amazing. And I just kept making chainmail ever since. Ever since that day. All right. Oh my God, players. Apparently we're going to have the same issue we had last weekend. Cool. Cool. Let's just get bigger pliers. Can't always do that, but we can in this case. There we go. We're just taking this piece apart. That's all we're doing. Right. So yeah, when I was 14, I saw my uncle, my stepdad's brother, making chainmail. And it was the typical, they took some galvanized steel fence wire from the local hardware store, wrapped it around a coil, and cut the rings by hand, and it's very similar to how a lot of people started out back in the day, right? And I'm not talking back in the day like the medieval period. I'm talking back in the day like the 1980s. Should this be a brass or a bronze ring? I don't know. Let's find out. That looks okay. Oh, that's gonna be like almost perfect. Can we get 2 through here? So a lot of people start out by getting galvanized steel fence wire from the home. You know what? We should do 1 brass and 1 bronze ring. That would be more in tune with the piece. So a lot of people start out, they get a coil of a spool of like galvanized fence wire from Home Depot or Lowe's. I think mine was from Home Depot. And they hand coil it and hand cut it to make all the rings, right? Which is not a bad way. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way. There's only better ways to do it, right? Excuse me. All right, I personally think that brass and the bronze ring in the center and a couple more connections similar to these ones will look better in the long run, right? So how I started out, I had, see here, I was 14, lived with my grandparents or at my grandparents most of the time. My grandfather had a giant spool of lineman's wire, like the kind used to stabilize telephone pole wires. He used to be a lineman, so it kind of made sense that he had a giant spool of lineman's wire in his backyard, but he hadn't been a lineman in like 40 years because he was old and retired. What did I just put? There it is. And so he cuts me off. I asked him if he'd had some wire. So he cuts me off like a length of this wire and gives me a pair of vice grips and a piece of rebar to use as a dowel to coil the wire around. So I crank these vice grips down, holding the wire to the rebar in order to start coiling it, and I coiled it by hand, and I cut it with the tiniest of wire clippers, right? So this is like 14 gauge wire that I'm cutting with, you know, wire snips like this big. And all I remember is like pain and my hands hurting, but I got enough rings to make a patch of chainmail. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. So that was how I got started. I had found I think I found a pattern for like European foreign one on the internet or something. All right. And, you know, kind of started figuring it out from there. Of course, that was forever ago. And we didn't have, or there wasn't, a large chainmail community like we have today available for, you know, to use as a resource, right? That's one of the things that I love about the things that go on with chainmail, right? There's more people making chainmail out of more materials and using more weaves than has ever existed in the history of the world, right? Period. Now, there's still only like 6 people doing this, but you know, it's better than nothing. All right. Oh, golly. I really need to upgrade these pliers. It's fine. It's fine. Need to upgrade a lot of stuff. Like the camera. And I need to get a microphone. I find that I have to talk pretty loud in order to get picked up by my computer. And that's worked out okay so far. But, you know, a dedicated microphone would be nice. And like I said last time, right, a camera from the top, you know, coming down so you can see what I'm working on, and a camera from the side. That would also be nice for me to have those things. Because, you know, I can do this all day long. If everything is blurry for forever and ever, right? Like, okay, yeah, cool. It's fun to sit here and watch me make chainmail. But, you know, if you can't see it, I don't know. What's the point? All right. Hey, Shannon, how you doing? How is it going? How's Florida? How's the mead? I wish that there was a notification sound that came up when people commented. It would probably be disruptive, and I would probably not want to do it or not want to listen to it. But man, oh man, when people comment and I don't see anything, that is annoying. All right. Finally. All right, where are we at here? We're at time to use the tissue on screen. This is the fun part, right? You have to still like blow your nose and sneeze on camera when you're doing live. Oh, scratch your nose in order to sit through one of these things. So, all right. It's kind of tempting to do it like that, but I don't know. All right. I'm going to cannibalize another piece here, which is fine. Nobody liked this piece anyway. I don't know. Someone probably would have enjoyed it had I ever been able to get it to a booth and put it in front of people. Which brings me to my next topic of discussion for tonight that I really wanted to get to because I see a lot of people talking about it, and I have suggestions. I'm not going to say the word solutions. I have suggestions to help people alleviate this problem they face. The problem is how to make sales online. Now, I run my own online store, right? And I sell stuff online, and I don't have any formal training, just a lot of read up, right? Like, I don't work for Facebook or anything. And some tips that have helped me do better than I otherwise would, right? And we've kind of talked about this in some previous videos, but I keep seeing this come up, and so I want to go through this step by step, right? People saying they can't sell stuff online who then have not done the following things, right? They don't respond to every comment that someone puts on their posts. They don't heart react their own post or heart react their friends' posts, or use any of the other emojis. But likes won't get you anywhere, right? It won't get you any reach. The Facebook algorithm does not really recognize those as important. Okay. People complaining that they have no reach, but they only also have 15 friends. Facebook's only ever going to show your post to your friends. If you only have 15 friends and you're not posting something those 15 friends are into, then Facebook's just going to disregard your post and your friends may never see them, right? So, if you're trying to sell something online, get as many friends as you can in whatever niche you're trying to sell in, right? What was the other thing? Okay. So, friends are free, right? Oh man, I should have written these down. If you don't have a website where people can come to your stuff, like whether it's on Etsy or not, right? There's a ton of people that I see post stuff, and like there's nowhere for me to go through the purchasing process. Okay. It's not too expensive to set up, right? I understand it's a small barrier for some people, but no, most people are able to afford whatever Etsy charges after someone else purchases something, right? Then my next suggestion would be that for people trying to sell stuff online, would be for people to start collecting other people's emails, right? An email list is one of the great ways to get out from behind the social media platforms and really out onto your own, right? And it's really close to free, if not free. You can do it free, right? All right. I don't know about that one. So, collect emails. Make friends with people who like the stuff that you do. Comment on every single. I'm sorry. Make a return comment or reply to everyone's comment on your post. Right? Heart react every single comment on your post. Heart react to your own post. If a post gets like 10 heart reacts in the first 5 minutes of it being up, Facebook's going to show that to a whole lot more people, right? Than if those heart reacts come in slowly over time. That's just the way Facebook works. From what I understand. Who knows? I could be totally wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, which is why I'm talking about it. Okay. Then start collecting emails. There are plenty of email service providers out there. I have one. I use one. Uh-oh, we've lost that ring. And I send out emails. I don't know. Why do we talk about this so much? I'm not any kind of brilliant business person. I don't want to set up any kind of, make $1 million on the internet by subscribing to this email. But there are ways to generate interest in your posts and whatever you're working on. Without just making a post and then saying, oh, nobody likes it. Okay, there's a reason nobody likes it. Nobody likes it because nobody sees it, right? Now, how do you make people see it? Well, you take a bunch of action beforehand, before making this post, with your product in it, and then you make your post. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I don't know. Okay. All right. Last ring for this one. I'll give you a pick update of what we're doing to the bottom here, because it's completely different than how we ended things last weekend. Oh my gosh. If anyone wants to send me some, what do you call them? Not Tronics. Quit wiggling the whole table. I can't help it. Can't help it. I don't have an independently suspended camera. So one day we'll have nice, clear. There. I'll take my work off the table. One day we'll have nice, clear screen video without, like, the whole thing shaking and causing everyone to get nauseous, right? But today is not that day. Mother of God. All right. This isn't tight, it's just awkward. And these red pliers keep slipping all over the place. I need some Zurons. Really what I need. So if anybody wants to buy me a pair of Zurons, like the 478s for Christmas, I would love that. Oh my God. Holy crap. Okay. Big plier time. Like, I keep using these little red pliers because they don't leave a lot of marks on the rings. But clearly they are not working. See how quick that was? All right. This is where we're at in the bottom. We're going to do a couple more of these. Couple more, and then at some point, we're going to be done with this piece. All right. All right. So if you don't know how to make friends on Facebook, you just send someone a friend request. Right? Send a bunch of people friend requests, because as someone who has tried to make a bunch of friends in the Chainmail sphere, Chainmail realm, is it a realm? I've done fairly well, right? Because I think other chainmail artists would be interested in what I do. But the vast majority of my friend requests have gone unheeded, ignored, right? And I have, you know, more reason than most for people to shoot me or for people to accept my friend request. I have more in common with others than most, right? So you would think that more people would accept, but the reality is that for, I don't know, maybe every 4 friend requests I send out, maybe every 5 friend requests I send out, I might get 1 acceptance. And, you know, part of that, I chalk that up to, what do you call it? People not trusting each other on the internet anymore, which I get, right? But, you know, I still send friend requests to people who kind of seem to like what I do, because that is one way to get my product in front of people who might also like it. So don't be discouraged if you send out 100 friend requests and only get 10 friends. Because that has happened to me. And what I do after that, right? I mean, we talked about replying to every comment, right? Quickly too, right? The sooner you do it, the better. And we talked about having a website, right? The beauty of having a website is that other people can point to you, right? You can say you do X, and it's real easy for people to believe that if you have like a bunch of pictures of X on your phone. Wow, I totally just opened that ring backwards. Okay, but if Susan says you do X and someone asks for proof, and she doesn't have like a website or a Facebook album even to pull whatever you're selling from, it's difficult for her to promote you. So you need other people to promote you too. You need to make it easy for them, because they're your friends, right? They love you. They think you're the best. They want what's good for you. So they'll talk good. They'll say good things about you, right? So if you've never made a sale on the internet, please do all of the aforementioned things, right? And just like, it's not hard to make a sale on the internet, right? It's just getting your product in front of the right person. That's 99.9% of the work, if you have a product that sells itself. All right. There was one other thing I was going to mention about if you're trying to sell something on the internet, and you haven't been successful yet. I forget what it was, so we'll have to talk about that next time. My Gmail's going off. Oh no. All right, where are we at here? Making this piece. All right. What was the other thing I was going to talk about tonight? Oh, the Chainmail themed pumpkin carving contest ends tonight. And I have a concern. It's a bunch of people joined, and there's only a couple of people that have submitted a pumpkin. So, I don't know. We'll see. The pumpkins that I've seen so far have been pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed with how they turned out. Right? And it's really cool. It was a really fun, little competition, Like, only 3 people entered, whatever. But I don't want people waking up tomorrow trying to submit their pumpkins and then be like, oh, I missed, I thought today was Halloween, and then they have like this awesome pumpkin that they carved. And I'm like, nope, you missed the date. Like, I don't want to be that guy either. But then you got the people who submitted on time and did everything correct, So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe no one will submit another pumpkin and we'll just have the 3 contestants. That'd be cool. Then they'd all be winners. Like, I don't know if I can give all of them a winning blanket, but I don't know if they'll all get a prize, but they will all have one compared to everyone else. That make sense? All right. Is this going to work? Well, we're definitely not using the red pair of pliers for this. That is for sure. Usually use a bigger ring in the center too. I don't know about this. I don't know about this side. All right. Oh, okay. Even the big pliers ain't cutting it. Right. I hear a little boy. Better get back upstairs now. Nope. Go upstairs. Very cool. Yep. Tomorrow's Halloween, buddy. Love you. Hang on, bud. All right. See here. Camera. Come here. Bless you. You know, the top of your piece is on backwards. Yeah, that's okay. Take a picture of you. All right. Okay, we'll wear your Halloween costume tomorrow, bud. Go put it back where it is. All right. If you end up watching this on YouTube, that was my son, and he's going to go back upstairs because I don't have any viewers on Facebook at the moment. Let's take a break. This is where we're at right now. I'm trying to do that that bottom connection there. The one dangling. Let's see what we can do. Then I don't know. I don't know what else. Like, how many more rows do I add? Seems kind of... I think 2 more is what I think. Like, right off the top of my head, when I asked that question, I said 2 more. 2 more. It'll be... that'll be like 6 little placeholders. That'll be enough, right? Oh, hey, there's a ring eye. And then I want to go back to this top here, but that may have to wait till next stream tomorrow night. All right. Okay. I would really like for this to work. Let's see if we can do it. Got the big pliers out. Put it back into place. Righty. And hopefully... Oh my gosh. It's not going to work. Why isn't it working? Because that pulls it too much that way. Because these center rings are too small. Right? They're not the right size. So the next size up would be 16 gauge 3/8. That's the wrong size. I don't know if I have any. Well, hang on. All right, there's 2 of them. Right there. I don't know if I have any. I've got 500,000 of them right here. Maybe not quite that many, but a lot. And we're going to have to take out these center rings, which is fine. This is fine. One of my favorite streamers says that all the time. This is fine. I have not seen him in a while, and I am concerned. I hope he is okay. I miss his streams. He was going really hard at streaming last year. And then, like, early this year, he had some problems streaming. And then, gone. Like, haven't seen him online at all. Gone. Always makes you wonder. Never know what's going on with other people, you know? All right. Got the center rings out successfully. Okay. All right. Use the big rings this time. The big pliers, I like to call them. They're enormous. New tip. I keep getting these flashes for a new tip down on one of my screens here. All right. I don't know what the new tip's about. I'm sure Facebook would love to tell me. Come on. All right. Okay, that seems to be holding on pretty tight. Which is a good sign. But really, I mean, we only need like another millimeter of reach for these center rings. Right? To get this other side on here. Okay, there we go. All right. Hopefully, once we get this strand done, we can do 2 more sides and then call it a day. 2 more strands, rather, and then call it a day. Oh my God. Even with the bigger rings, it still wants to fight. Get on there, tiny ring. There we go. All right, 2 more rings on that, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. All right. I'll show you a progress pic. How's everyone doing tonight? So we got a couple people watching. They tell you never to look at your viewers. Right? And then, of course, that makes you look at your view count like all the time. Right? And that's all you ever do. You're like trying to figure out what to say when no one's watching. It's fun. But I totally just looked and there were some people watching, so what's going on? How's everyone doing tonight? What are you up to? All right. How's your Halloween coming along? Mine is, my kid was just down here in his costume, right? Of course, we're technically recording for YouTube, right? And they can't, like, you can't have, what do you call it? So, Max, you can't have kids in your video, like, at all, unless it's, like, 4 kids or something. I don't know. And so I gotta, like, shoo him off before he can show off his costume. But him and I are going trick-or-treating tomorrow night, and I'm sure there will be plenty of photos of him online later. Oh my God, this doesn't want to go. These little rings are ridiculous. It's the Happy Gilmore scene where he's telling the ball to go in its home. How I feel right now. Come on. All right. We still have 2 more of these to do. Come on. There we go. Will it stick? Will it stick? All right. Perfect. Ow. Don't do that. I really need to like improve my pliers. Ow. It doesn't actually hurt, right? I'm fine. But you know, the reaction of when you like slip and sharp objects start sliding towards your face is to say ow. Okay. Last one for this one. Who decided that I should do Byzantine with 3 connectors? Oh my gosh. Looks like I need a new pair of wubbers too. All right, there we go. All right, we're just gonna hide that closure because it's probably all wonky. There's the bottom right now. I want to do 2 more. I'm gonna try and squeeze in 2 more. I think we can do it. I don't know. I mean, this is on there pretty solid. If I just said right now that that was it, you know, it's done, no one would ever question me about it, you know. But for my own ego, I actually think that needs to be over 1 more. I don't know about that. I want 2 more strands, ideally. I don't know if it's going to work. But, you know, this, like, it's 19 rings around, right? 19 is prime. It's not easily divisible by anything. I would have to spend a lot of time that is probably not worth investing on making it look perfect, right? It looks good. I'm happy with it as it is now. I just think it could be better. You know? What do you guys, what does everyone else think? 1 more row? 5's prime, right? I don't know. What do you think? Do we want to do anything with the top, or do we just want to call it a day? Right? I mean, because if we call it a day, we call it a day, and this goes on the shelf over there, right? Yeah. Thanks, buddy. All right, cool. The cross looks good. The people have spoken. I don't know. Like, does what I want it to do. I think here's what we'll do, right? Here's the deal I'll make. I think we leave it like this because I don't like have any further plans for it. And I think that we go use it, and if something happens to where that's not enough or this top isn't enough, we see rings start opening up, then we revisit it, right? Because as it stands right now, I'm really out of rings for this project without cannibalizing another piece, which is fine. I'm just repurposing rings, but you know, I have a big old carabiner that I wanted to put in here. I wonder, I think it's over there somewhere. That's fine. All right. And I really want to replace this ring up here, but it's way too tight for me to replace because it's all chewed up and on top. But if I just, you know, if I just display it like that, no one will ever know, right? All right. Okay. All right. Here's one of the things we cannibalized tonight. All right. It's always fun. I like making those. That's like the logo piece. All right. So, let's see here. What else is new? Work on the app is coming along. I'm very happy with it. Right? We have a new light that we're kind of playing with right now that kind of shows these off better. Right? I don't know. Should we put it like, is that too much? You know? A lot of light. Gets even brighter too. This is too much for this poor little camera to handle. We're going to get some cameras so that you can see what we're working on. One day, not anytime soon. I priced microphones. They went up like $50, which is, I don't know what that's about. You know, like microphones don't have prices like gas prices. So I don't know what's going on with that, but a microphone where I don't feel like I have to shout in order for you to hear me, right? If you've ever watched any of the replays, you got to have your volume all the way up in order to hear me, all right? All right, where are we at? 47 minutes? We'll take photos of this later. Let's set that one down. Let's look at upcoming projects and decide what to work on next. Right? This one's a fun one. All right, so in my genius, right? And you know, people tell me I'm very smart, right? In my genius, I had a bunch of black and white and clear poly something rings, right? That is a slip ring. That is a slip ring. All right, so I got to fix a bunch of those. But if you look right here, you can see the whale of a tail, right? The tail of a whale. I don't know. So that right there. Right, and then here's like the orca belly, and then a fin right there. And so I had all these black and white rings, and I was like, what's something that like I can make out of black and white rings? I was looking at black and white designs, and that came up, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just make one of those. Of course, a pirate flag like never crossed my mind at all until I was halfway through this thing. So anyway, pardon my embarrassment. Pirate flag would have been much more fitting, but we get orca instead. So maybe we'll work on the orca next. Maybe. No, that's pretty much already done. I just have to buy new rings for it. I have a bunch of like projects that need leather over here. Maybe we'll work on this. This is a project I need to get done. And I have a greater concept of how to do it now, right? This is the top helmet. Are we looking the right way? All right, that looks better. Kind of. All right, this is the top portion of an Oakland Raiders flag I was going to make for a buddy of mine. I did a Green Bay flag, Michigan State flag, or University of Michigan, I don't remember. Not too long ago. Like 14 years ago, right? Like back when I was really getting started. Okay. All right. So that's one. I don't even think we can fit this all on the camera here. It's enormous. Let me tell you a tale of a really sad project that I was very sad to stop doing and very irritated at myself for not realizing this mistake. So if you are a chainmail artist, please pay attention. All right. Okay. You see this? This says Finnegan, right? And all the letters are spelled out. And this design was the gold and the green design background that you see. Was a project I was freehanding. I got the design from like one of the bartenders at this place called Finnegan's Wake, right? And this is Finnegan's Wake in Alexandria, Louisiana. And I would go there like every weekend because I was in the Army and I was living in Alexandria and I had nothing better to do with my life but to, make chainmail when I could and drive an hour away from post to get away from everyone, and have a bunch of beer and, in general, a good time. Never had a bad time there. So the bartender made a design for their shirts, right? Of course, I bought one of the shirts and I took the design home. Or I got it off the website or something, printed it out, and I started doing that. And what ended up happening is I wasn't happy with how the design was coming out, and I ordered anodized aluminum rings in different lots. When you order anodized aluminum, you want to get them all the same color. And so I have a bunch of different colored greens and I have a bunch of different colored golds. The silvers are just like brightened aluminum or something. So they're all the same. But the greens and the golds they don't look terrible. Like, they kind of look cool, but not really. So that's another project we got to work on. I might tear out all the gold. I might tear out all the green. Might just keep going the way I'm going. I don't know. I will probably pick the hardest route to go, which is probably tearing out like all the gold and the green and redoing the whole thing. I hope not, though. We'll see what happens. We'll see how I feel. That's another project we got to get started. And then I have that billion 16 gauge 3H rings right here, which I believe will translate directly into like fireworm and iceworm and a couple other really cool like chain weaves. So in order to get rid of those rings, we'll do that. Make a bunch of chains out of them. It's not as if we don't have enough chains lying around here. You can always use more. We'll figure out something. So go check out MailleWerX.com. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, which if you're watching on YouTube, it's a red subscribe button down there. If you're watching live on Facebook, that comment won't make sense until you go rewatch on YouTube. Anyway, I'm gonna go grab another beer. This has been fun. I think we're done with this. It's a nice shelf piece right now. I'll see how I feel about it in the morning, and then we'll go from there. I will see you guys probably tomorrow night. We're probably gonna do 3 streams this weekend, and I know like everybody's out at Halloween parties except for like the cool kids that are sitting here with me, right? So thank you, cool kids. I will talk to you guys later. All right, have a good night.